I'll give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the Drive-Thru, Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And serve live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. Remember those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us here for today. All right, with us here, let me get the right screen up. Here we go. We got, Half-Day Mike Safir with us. We got Tony Brown, Jay Briggs, Alex Smarts, Rod Zawacky, Damian Sosh, and of course we're looking for Shane Mickle. Here's how the lineup for this evening. We've got this evening Smart, Kosty, Sosh, Brown. We're looking for Mickle, Briggs, Scott, a late scratch for Scott Zawacky. Then I will close this one out. All right, NBA starts us off here this evening. 2 games on the board. We got a couple from college football, huge. Every team in action, NHL, as well as NHL League Baseball, so a little bit of everything tonight. Let's get underway here, and let's get started the show with Alex Smart. You'll catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. We'll bring Alex in right now with a couple of player props for you here. A team prop thrown in there as well. I'll bring him in ready to roll here with Alex. Alex, what's happening?
Everything's great. We're just looking forward to a great NBA and college basketball season. Make lots of money for our clients, and cross my fingers. I'm got my lucky rabbit's foot and everything else out, ready to go here. But most of all, making sure that my research is, at the top of all that. Anyway, to make a long story short, you know what? I know we're not getting a lot of money for this, and it's not always about the extravagant amount of money. And I know that there are other teams out there that maybe people think that Denver could win this, and Milwaukee could win this. Just looking at their lineups, I'm not crazy about Denver this year repeating or playing as well as they did last year, but I am about the Celtics. And with Drew Holiday and Christmas Porzingis and going to Boston this year, and then you got a team that's full of all-stars: Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Holiday, Porzingis. That's going to be a hard team to guard, and if they can stay healthy, I mean, even on an average night, these guys are going to pound people into the ground. And that's the way I look at the Celtics. Just basic concepts here. Great defensive team, great offensive team, well-rounded. I mean, what more do you want? I know, like I said, big names like Damian Lillard are going to the Bucks, and that might inspire people here with futures bets too. But I don't know. We'll see as the season goes on. And Lillard gets injured a lot, and the big man also does get injured a lot. So anyway, I'm gonna say let's go with a futures bet here for the championship with Boston.
All right, Alex says go with Boston here to win the NBA championship. Yeah, because out of the East we have coaching changes, right? Major coaching changes: Philly, Milwaukee, Toronto. So we got to see how that chemistry brews here with new coach in place. So Boston seems to have the most stability right now.
What do you think, though? Other than laying money on a futures bet, what do you think about the Boston-Milwaukee concept? Which team do you think looks better to you on paper, or just looks better, from your point of view?
Yeah, I don't like the coaching change in Milwaukee. I don't like what they did. I mean, the coach has had his brother pass away. You let him go. I mean, that's pretty cold in my book. That's the team I don't want to see win. But I don't know. Giannis just re-up for a longer term contract. So we'll see how that. To me, it's just you had a world championship coach, and he had a very good regular season. You let him go. I don't like that. I don't like when you let coaches go who perform well for you. And there was, again, this team was not on a downward slide. Just got beaten, early round NBA. It happens.
Right. Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, but I'm on Boston here, and for a championship ring. And now we're going to go with Rookie of the Year. Now, I think a lot of people are probably in this arena, and you're not going to get a lot of money on this either. But Victor Wembanyama, I mean, this kid, man, at 7'4", he's as smooth as silk. He hasn't filled out completely yet. I don't know how much more he's going to fill out, but he's young. And, I mean, he's just smooth and top defensive player everywhere he's ever played. Just dominant defensively, and still learning to be explosive on offense. And I really believe the Spurs have themselves one heck of a player here. If he can stay healthy, looking at the Spurs to maybe surprise some people for a little while this year.
Yeah, I don't think that's no doubter there. Yeah, he's the one everyone tanked for, right?
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, not a lot of money there, but got sometimes there's obvious bets to be made, and and the only thing you have to worry about once again is health, especially when you go with futures bets on individual players. So, just a word of caution for everybody there. But and then we're going to finish off with Paul, and Paul has this tendency of also being injured a lot the last few years. But I think he's. This is. Sorry, I had to put this out here. This is for the sixth man um, award, and I really believe that he has the ability. I think as the season goes on, what's going to happen is Paul's going to come off the bench a lot, and you know, you see, last year they asked stars like Curry and Draymond to come off the bench in the playoffs, and I think Paul will eventually end up doing that. And I think as this season goes on along, and he doesn't, maybe they pace him a little bit better and worry about his injury status and his health issues, which seem to stand out more often than not. This guy's got a great chance at doing that on this type of team. So six-man award goes to the man himself, Chris Paul.
Yeah, Chris Paul, of course, Golden State, huge embarrassment last year playing on the road. It was just embarrassing. And, of course, they realized that Poole wasn't the guy on the road. They need to make sense here. They're going to, it looks like they want to bring Paul off the bench, and it looks like it'll be a situation mostly because they want to improve their road play.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And it looks good. I think I mean, we can all see it from our angle, and they can see it obviously from their point of view. And I think this is an older, experienced team that would be cohesive, especially in the playoffs. They just need to make it in the playoffs, and then anything's possible from there, as we saw last year. So
yeah, Warriors are keeps a note here. Warriors are aging a little bit. Jordan Poole might be playing too fast for the Warriors right now. Paul slows it down, right? I mean, that's interesting when you mix this youth, guys in their early 20s with these guys now in their 30s or over now, right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. It's a great, experience is great, but this is a long season. Over 80 games, and I mean it's exhausting, and that will affect a lot of stuff going into the playoffs. And hopefully, Paul can be healthy, Curry can be healthy going into the playoffs. So, but I like Golden State from the West. That's my pick, and I don't know. I'm just not crazy about Denver, but I wanted to ask you a question. It's the Lakers. You always have great insights on the Lakers. I just like to know your opinion on the Lakers.
Oh, yeah, the Lakers. It's again. It comes down to whether or not you can get how many games you get from LeBron and Anthony Davis. They do have 15 back-to-backs this year, so that's going to be tricky how they're going to manage that part of it. I think they've got a lot of depth. They got a lot of shooting, but they got to build that chemistry in because Vanderbilt's out tonight. But again, it's going to depend on how deep, how many games we can get out of LeBron and Anthony Davis at this point in the career. It's to me, any futures bet on the Lakers, or the Clippers for that matter, because this is I don't know how to put it, but this is like the Staples Center. They ought to call it the Senior Center.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm starting to look that way at a lot of teams in the West. It's Senior Center, yeah, but the great young teams that are on the way up too. I really think this is changing the guard season. I think we'll see this as the season goes on. And this is always interested in your Lakers' opinion, though, because you got great insights on those West Coast teams, and actually you have great insights on everything in the NBA. You're very knowledgeable, so I always like to ask you anyway.
I appreciate that, Alex. Handicap with us here at Pick Dogs. You got his 3 plays here for you here on the drive-through. All right, Alex, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium for tonight's action. A little bit of everything tonight, right? We got a Game 7 from the NLCS. We got NBA starting. Yeah, just 16 games on the board from the NHL. A couple from and we should know these teams. So I expect some people. I expect cappers and folks out there to be in action because you've seen these teams, I think, every Tuesday or Wednesday so far. Great start in college football. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, tonight I'm going to pass on that National League Championship Series Game 7. I just think it's a flip of a coin. Tell you the truth, Arizona's bullpen's been so good. It's kind of surprising anyway after that falter towards the All-Star break and just after. But anyway, I've got some college football tonight. I've got a total. I've cashed 8 of my last 10 college football selections. Right now I'm currently number 1 on the site in college football. So join me for that. And I have an NHL selection on board, a money line selection. And, of course, that late night NBA game we have going on tonight. We're going to see Golden State tonight in that late night game, and I got a total on that one. So let's cash a 3-0 night, and let's move forward. You can join me for long-term packages, 3-day packages, 7-day packages, whatever you like. Hopefully they're all winners, and most of the time they are.
They are, guys. Get on board with Alex Smart over at Pick Dog Stream. You see the good results there from Alex in college football, and nearly 1,200 units of profit. So get on board tonight. Got to play up there from college football. Or instead, here we are on a Tuesday. That 7-day pass is perfect. Get all of Alex's pre and plays for 7 days. All that college football this week. A lot of midweek action. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All the NFL covered in there as well. And of course, NBA, NHL. Pick as a promo code. Save that 15% off. We got all these sports overlapping. Remember, World Series starts here on Friday, so this is the most sports you're going to get with a long-term pass. There it is, because we look at all these major sports in action. All right, Alex, I think you kind of tipped your hand on that baseball game. It's a coin flip. Then you got to take the plus 150.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
We got another one out,
That
Alex.
makes more sense than riding the favorite. That's for sure.
That's right.
Yeah, 100%.
You got it. All right, Alex, have a great night. Alex Smart here on the drive-thru. All right, let's go. Let's continue on here on the show. Kosty and Mike Safir up next. Catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. Of course, we're going to give you information how to get in touch with Kosty. This is someone you want to definitely get in touch with. You push a lot of money into games, but we'll bring him in right now. I think we'll be set to. Oh, actually, I got him here. Passed him too much here. Let's go here. We'll bring in Mike Safir here in just a second. We've got some NBA on the board here from Mike. We'll bring him in here right now. Here we go. Mike, what's happening?
What's going on?
Going great. Everything's going great. Looking forward to the start of the NBA. It's a long season. That was 4 months and 12 days when they crowned the Nuggets a champion. So that's how much time they have to rest to get ready for this one. So here we go. It's Lakers and Nuggets to tip it off. This game was kind of moving back and forth. I saw a 5. I saw a 4.5. I saw a 6. And what we got now, 4.5 in this one with the total 228.5.
Yeah, it's been 4.5 most of the day. We did actually, my sharps did move on this game a couple days earlier with 4, but 4.5 is still a decent price. You're not going to get a lot of movement early in the season. There's not much to actually analyze. I mean, preseason and summer ball doesn't really count. They don't play a lot of minutes, but anytime Denver plays at home, such a good team at home, such a good covering team at home. Outside of, we talked about this earlier, Golden State are the best home team against the spread in the NBA. You have a team that's bringing back all 5 starters, a lot of cohesion, coming off a title run. Obviously, they want to repeat. I just don't see a lot of, weaknesses on this team right now, especially at home. The Lakers got swept by them. Obviously, they won a revenge game after getting swept by them in the Western Conference Finals, but I just don't know what I'm going to see out of the Lakers yet. I saw a big decline in LeBron's ability to actually score a lot. He's more of a facilitator this late in his career. So you have a guy who's basically, a glorified point guard. A lot of times he doesn't put up a lot of points. He gets you a lot of assists now and rebounds per game. And without Vanderbilt, not sure the type of shape Anthony Davis is in. All in all, I just like the Nuggets. I think they're going to win this game by 6 or 7 late. It's going to be a fairly close game, but at the end of the game, they're going to get those foul shots to get it way over the 4.5, spread their lane, and they're going to win around 6 or 7 is my prediction.
You should see that line move to 5 here, which I just saw a live screen here. Sharpest book in the world will move to 5. Of course, that's what Mike does. That's what he does on line moves when he outplays it. Big money mover there. So this will move to 5, and 5 will probably be the number everywhere now as I see it, as I look here at the market. The question will be here on this Laker team is a lot of new players, a lot of shooters. And it's interesting to see how they gel. And of course, the big issue here with the Lakers, they were the second worst shooting team in the playoffs. So the focus will be on shooting and how all this chemistry works together and how these shooters they brought in will be able to get their shot.
Well, and that's the only way you could beat the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets, the only way you could beat them, you're not going to stop Jokic. You're not going to stop the pick and roll with Murray. You're not going to be able to stop Aaron Gordon at times. These guys are a well-oiled machine, and the only way you could beat that type of team is you have to bring in shooters. That's what the Suns did. That's what the Lakers are trying to do. All the teams in the West, they know the recipe. If they could bring on shooters, that is something that they can compete with the Nuggets. Again, Until I see otherwise throughout the year, they're only going to get better. They're still really young. Murray has had the injuries, but realistically, he's been out for a couple years, and last year was his first year where he had a full season, and you saw what it did. So until I see that the injuries play a role on this Nuggets team, they're going to be a very tough out throughout the year, especially at home. So against the spread, they're just amazing.
Yeah. No doubt about that. So it'll be Nuggets here about 5. If you look around, it looks to be that it will be on our screen. It'll be moving here soon because we just saw the live one come up here at 5. This one will have a start time 7:30 Eastern time. This one will be over on TNT. All right, Mike. Of course, Mike, we can get in touch with you right with your sharp trading plays.
Yep. Give me a call, text 775-636-7674. Sharp trading plays are all about getting the sharpest line early in the week. Already released 3 NFL games for the weekend. Last week, we closed on 6 out of the 8 games, and we ended up going 8-0 on Sunday, as you saw probably on ESPN, where the sharps cashed, the public got trampled last week in NFL. So not going to happen every week. We're not going to sit there and sweep the board, but it just shows that our homework is being done correctly, and we're closing so much better on 70 to 80% of our games, which in the long run just definitely plays a big role on winning 10 to 15% more wagers because your line is that much better. So if you have a big bankroll and you want to be coached how to actually bet the games and when the sharps bet them, shoot me a text 775-636-7674 or call me, and I'll definitely give you an opportunity if this is for you to make a lot of money being a part of this.
That's right, guys. So call or text Mike. He answers the phone. He respond to your text. You see the number there on the screen. Again, when you betting early, like for instance, like tomorrow's NBA game, right? We got a big card tomorrow from the NBA. When do you get into action there?
So we already gave out 3 NBA games for tomorrow. The game tonight we actually gave out, which is the game I gave out on the show tonight. We gave the Nuggets out at 4 on Sunday. So we're already locked and loaded on the board. A lot of times you could see the sharp movement at books that don't back winners out, and like Circa, that is one of them that you could see that where sharp movement is actually happening and the limits increase. Recreational books, just you can't see the movement whatsoever because they back winners out, and then you don't see if it's public money or sharp money. So there's a lot more to it. When you're a professional, this is an opportunity where you could get the same games the pros are betting in real time without having to do much except look at your text and put the games in when I tell you.
Yep, there you guys. Look at the sharp books. Don't look at those recreational books because I don't trust those. I don't trust those money moves. There's only a few books that you can trust, Mike. I've been saying this for a long time. A lot of folks swear, "Oh no, that's accurate." No, it's not accurate. There was the Stardust. One of the Stardust book directors admitted to fudging the public lines out there. Not showing the late moves in the NFL.
Of course, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a pro tip for anybody that's listening to the show or watching the show. Circa is a very sharp book. If you see the line movements there, most of the time it's sharps moving on the game, and it's not the public like DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesar, stuff like that.
Yeah, you know the lines to look at, no doubt. So get in touch with Kosty. Mike, just again, what sports are you covering now that we have all these sports in action?
We have NBA, college football, NFL, and obviously college basketball is going to be starting here in 3 weeks. So those are the main ones that we cover, and we're all over every single sport in real time. So if you want access and you want to make real money doing this and you want to treat it like a business, this is an opportunity for you to be coached and mentored how to be a pro without actually putting the work in like a pro.
There you go. Call or text Mike 775-636-7674 and get on board. Big players, sharp trading plays, get on board. All right, Mike, as always, great having you on the show. Have a great evening. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks for having me.
You got Kosty, Mike Safir here on the drive through. Let's continue on. I got a note from Tony Brown. You want to go next? All right, so let's go ahead and bring in Tony Brown. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. He's going off to L.A. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna. He's not going to Denver. He's going to go to L.A. So we'll find out what's happening with Tony Brown. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. Bring him in right now. Tony Brown, what's happening?
What's going on, Tone? Yeah, I'm trying to get out of here quick. I'm going to L.A. for my birthday Thursday, not for the game. I'm just going to be hanging out in Cali for my birthday. And
Tony Brown,
before the show.
All right, here we go with Tony Brown's play tonight. We're going on the ice tonight. As you've seen, these funky start times are kind of, with the all the teams in action, they're kind of staggering this times tonight. So we got Red Wings hosting the Kraken. Red Wings favored -114, total 6.5.
I love this pick right here. Not only were we going with the Red Wings, but we're taking the Red Wings on the puck line. You know the old adage, two teams headed in separate directions? This literally fits that bill. With the Red Wings, they're sitting at 5-1 on the season, and they're putting up 5 goals per game. Like, they lead the league in goal scoring. DeBrincat and Larkin, that's one of the best front lines in the game right now. They lead the league in they're 5-1. Kraken are less goals per game. Say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We got the Kraken coming in at 1-4, and they can't score a lick, and we got the Red Wings coming in at 5-1, and they're scoring the most goals in the NHL. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's take the Red Wings not only to win, let's take them on the puck line and get that plus 180 for a big cash tonight.
All right, we got Tony Brown here on the Red Wings puck line. Lay the goal and half plus 195 here against a Kraken team. Look at some regression here from this Kraken. My goodness, 1-5 start. Been bad on the road, 0-3. They're having issues. They can't even get. They're averaging about a goal a game on the road, getting outscored by 2.
Right, and like you said, regression is the best word. They were a playoff team last year. Everybody thought, expansion team, they get off to slow starts. They got right in the playoffs last year. It looked like they were getting better and better, and now here we go. 1 win in the first 6 games, and they can't even put up 2 goals. Like, they're averaging 1+ goal a game. So I don't know what's going on out there. It could just be early. It's only 6 games in. But from what we've seen, getting the Red Wings at this price at home against a Kraken team that can't win on the road, that can't score, it's too good to pass up, so we won't.
Yeah, some of these new teams, right? They don't have, farm teams. They don't have, in place, right, for years, developing young talent. So it's hard sometimes to replenish some of your players. You're forced to go into free agent for a few years until you can get your farm team, your farm system put together.
Right, and like Floyd Mayweather was like the exception to the rule in boxing with all the money and all the stuff, how he's doing it. Everyone's trying to pattern themselves after the Golden Knight. But you're not going to be able to pattern that. It's just really the exception to the rule.
All right, there we go with Tony Brown here. Red Wings puck line. Lay the puck, a puck and a half. Plus 195 against the Kraken. This one have a start time, 8:15 Eastern time. All right, Tony Brown, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, on the ice, all teams in action on the ice. Tony Brown, fantastic NFL season. 1,040, it's a profit, but Tony Brown here. We've got 16 games NHL. We got college football, MLB game number 7. Your Lakers in action with 2 on the board. NBA, what do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yeah, we have a huge card on the board tonight, and I have a huge package. We have the Super 6-pack on the board tonight. You get all 3 of my NHL picks. I got 3 picks on the NHL, all 10-star rated. You get both of my NBA opening day plays, and you get my MLB laser lock, Game 7 in the NLCS. You can get all 6 picks. Bang your bookie 6 times, get them in. Pick your poison, but we're going to make some money today.
Yeah, make some money here with Tony Brown over at Pick Dodge Premium. Great results there you see in the NFL. Of course, Tony Brown, you're in Vegas. Left and right. All these sports in action. Your 1-year all sports pass. Fantastic value right now with all these major sports in action.
Right. We got pro football in action. We got college football in action. We got baseball World Series coming up. The NBA starts tonight. Going to definitely be more expensive. If you try to buy individual passes, that type of stuff only helps get the bookie rich. We're here to take the money out of the bookie's pocket, not yours. And with my All Sports here, that's how you can do just that. You get every single pick I release from every sport, playoff, championship picks included. There's no selling for a full year.
That's right, guys. Yeah, boy, Tony Brown over at Pick Dogs. Remember that 1 year all sports pass is your best value there. Pick is a promo code to save that 15% off. All right, Tony Brown, have a great trip to LA, and we'll talk to you in a couple days.
All right, man. I always appreciate you guys having me, and I'll see you Thursday.
You got it. Tony Brown here on the drive-thru before your party. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Up next, we're going to go ahead and welcome in Damian Sosh. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. Damian Sosh, what a baseball season he's had. And we still have a lot of baseball left. We got games tonight. And then we have the World Series beginning on Friday with this. We'll see what's going on in this town of Philly. I never thought I'd get to this point, Damian.
I didn't either. I give the Diamondbacks credit. I didn't see that. Thought it'd be over by now, but it's not. And it's an exciting night. I believe I heard today this is the first Game 7 in Philadelphia in their history of their major league history of their team, their franchise, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting here. Because back in the day, they used to play 5-game series before they got to the 7-game series was, I believe, was the World Series. So, yeah, because they've been around a long time. But tonight we're going to college football here over on the U. We thank Conference USA for providing all this midweek action here. It's earlier than usual because Maction comes in November. So they says, you know what, let's get some college football early. We got it here. Western Kentucky and Liberty going head-to-head here tonight. We've got Liberty favored 4.5 here on the road, total 61.
Yeah, this is a pretty important game for both teams here. Liberty, as you said, traveling to Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky coming in at 4-3. A win here could really help propel them down the stretch. Western Kentucky has played the tougher schedule of the two teams, but I see them having problems here in this game. Liberty coming in at 7-0. Even though they haven't played the toughest competition, they're winning games. It's a fun offense to watch. They can, both run, pass it. They're averaging 275 rushing yards per game and 36 points per game. When teams are like, they'll load up to stop that run, they hit you through the air. They have 5 passing plays this season of 50-plus yards. The Western Kentucky defense is not very good. They're giving up 463 yards per game. They're giving up over 200 rushing yards to their opponents on the game, per game on the season, and they're having trouble with running quarterbacks. Liberty quarterback Caden Salter, he's 4th in the nation in rushing yards by a quarterback, and that has started at least 4 games. So on paper, I consider this to be Liberty's probably toughest remaining game before a possible Conference USA title game. There's been mention of Liberty, should they run the table of a possible New Year's 6 bowl game. I think they're coming out and they're going to show up in this game, and I like them to cover the number on the road here against Western Kentucky.
Yeah, we got Damon here, Liberty laying the 4.5 here against Western Kentucky. All I can think about is that Western Kentucky and Jacksonville State game, how they could not stop the run. How they just pounded Western Kentucky on that ground game. And, Austin Reed came back for another season at Western Kentucky, and, man, it's not been efficient. I mean, I think it's again, another start last week where he averages 5.2 yards per pass attempt, which is really bad, especially in college, especially this Conference USA. These aren't NFL corners, NFL safeties, and interesting to note how inefficient this Western Kentucky passing game has been.
Yeah, it is surprising. Like you said, you really expect them to be better. And they're not, and I think, with the exception of Western Kentucky having played Ohio State, with the exception of that game, this is, I think, probably the most talented team they faced in lieu of Ohio State. So Liberty's a good defensive team. I think they're going to give Western Kentucky here loads of problems.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a ground here, run the ball here. That's their strength, and, of course, that's Western Kentucky's defense is stopping that run. Liberty laying the 4.5 against Western Kentucky. This one to have a start time here, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll catch it over on ESPNU. All right, Damian, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. We said Damian top leaderboard in Major League Baseball over 3,100 units of profit, near 3,200 units of profit. Major League Baseball combined, showing great profit for the year. Last 30 days as well. Baseball on the board, NBA, NHL, college football. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, as you mentioned, baseball season, just a terrific season. And of course, I have a play here on Game 7 that's available over there on the website. And I have actually both NBA plays for sale. I have sides on both the NBA plays and an NHL play that is for sale as well. You can get both my NBA plays and my NHL play together, packaged in my Winner's Circle Pass down there for an affordable price. And if you subscribe to a long-term plan, I have a couple other NHL plays up for sale. It's kind of interesting. We got to talk to the NHL schedule makers. They'll go 2 games, on one night now, and everybody's playing. So a little interesting. So a little bit bigger NHL card than I'm used to putting out there. But hop on board a long-term plan, guys, and we're ready to cash.
Ready to cash with Damian Sosh over at Pick Dogs. We're going to see great results here in baseball for the year as well. Great time to get the long-term pass. A 1-month pass will get you a remainder of Major League Baseball playoffs, all your NHL, NBA, college, and NFL football for 30 days. Get you right near Thanksgiving with that 30-day pass. Of course, Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. Add multi-cappers with a multi-capper promotion. Even greater value there, right, Damon? As always, great having you on the show. Continue that great success. We'll talk with you soon.
Thank you, Tony. Have a great night.
You as well. Damian Sosh here on the drive through. Reminder, guys, you ever miss a pick, we'll recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Up next, let's bring in Jay Briggs. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. Hope you're catching his shows here in the afternoon, a mix of NBA as well as NFL. Jay's afternoon session. We'll bring in Jay right now. Ready to roll with Jay. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening?
What's going on? Look at those Rangers. Of course, we were talking earlier. We're going to be checking out the World Series coming back to Texas. There are some pictures of Jay on the first one. So what do you think about that? Who you'll be facing? Will it be Phillies looking Diamondbacks?
I'm a Diamondbacks fan tonight. I'd rather see the Diamondbacks. I think that the Phillies have the more top-end talent, but I think regardless, it's going to be a hell of a World Series. The Diamondbacks are right here in it for a reason, and they're equipped to play in these very games that they're in today. All hands on deck type of game. So I can't wait to watch that one here in a little bit. Diamondbacks Phillies to see who's coming to Texas on Friday.
That's right. Who's coming to Texas on Friday to start the World Series? But before we get there, we're going to NBA tomorrow. This is tomorrow. It's a light card, so we're going to slip this one in for tomorrow. Pistons and Heat going head-to-head here in Miami. We see Miami laying 9 in this one, total 219.5.
Yeah, Tony T. NBA is back, and y'all know it's one of my favorite sports. I absolutely love handicapping the NBA. 2 games on tonight, so I said let's go look at some tomorrow's action. One thing that I'm doing early this year is I'm just going back to my same systems from last year. And one of my absolute favorite spots last year in the NBA was to fade the Miami Heat at home. This team, we saw them go on the postseason run, and they looked extremely good doing so. Knocked off the Bucks, knocked off the Knicks, and then made it to the NBA Finals. Remember, though, at home, the Miami Heat were the 3rd worst cover team in the NBA. They were really the worst cover team in the NBA at home for majority of the season. And the Charlotte Hornets and the Mavs finally caught them. But the Miami Heat were 21, 30, and 2 ATS at the crib last season, 41.2%. I wouldn't feel comfortable laying double digits with Miami at home tomorrow. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. I think the Pistons are improved. They have Cade Cunningham back in the fold. I like the Thompson twin. I think that the Pistons they remind me kind of the Magic last season. We're going to see spurts of this team look really good. I think we're going to be able to make money betting the Pistons this year. I'm probably going to end up taking them tomorrow against Miami. I think their home struggles, against the spread at least, may continue early into this season.
All right, Jay says in this one, go ahead and take the Pistons plus the 9 here against the Miami Heat. Yeah, it was a Heat team that really had their struggles regular season and really came on strong at the end of the regular season and into the postseason. There were even some question marks about the Miami getting in there because, if not mistaken, they were in that 9 versus 10 game.
Yes, they were. And then, they were in the
7-8?
7-8.
7-8.
And lost.
That's right.
They were in the 7-8 and lost the first game, so they had to play for their playoff lives the second game. So, in the grand scheme of things, I think the Miami Heat are going to be just fine. They're going to be right there in the thick of things in the Eastern Conference again. I would not be surprised if they somehow found themselves back in the Eastern Conference Finals. Miami's a good basketball team. It's just I wouldn't feel comfortable laying 10 points with a team that was one of the worst covering spreads last season at home. 10 points is a lot to lay. Winning the game, totally different thing than laying 10. I think the Pistons can do enough to keep this game within the number.
All right, Jay says go ahead. And the Pistons here, plus the 9 here against the Heat. Action for tomorrow's NBA action. We're not really getting much talk today here on the Warriors and Suns here, Jay. I'll just get to your thoughts here. We've seen the line at Pick'em, but we got the news here about Beal, doubtful, probably not play. We know about Lee. We know about Damon Green. Looks like Booker will be in action tonight for Phoenix. That was the one question mark, but it looks like he's expected to play coming off the injury report. So now we see the Warriors 2.5-2 in this one with a total about 235.
I would like to remind folk that the Golden State Warriors were the best home cover team in the NBA last season. 31-16-1 against the spread. I want to say that was 60.2%. On the road, the Warriors were an automatic fade. They were the worst road cover team in the entire NBA. They were night and day for the Warriors. They got a revenge angle here with Chris Paul now on the team. The Suns coming into this game banged up. Would I be surprised if the Suns were the better team as the season progresses? No, I wouldn't. But would I be trying to take them at home tonight? On the road tonight against Golden State, who goes stupid, dummy, crazy at the crib and got magnets in the rim at home? No, I wouldn't.
It would not make that move there. So says Jay in that one here between that Warriors game. The Chris Paul. How do you see Chris Paul factoring in this rotation with the Warriors?
I see him. I like didn't Alex earlier say Chris Paul 6th Man of the Year? You said that, right?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot because I think that's the role he's going to be in. Of course, we're going to see him with the starters in some capacity, but I think his main role is going to send Chris Paul back to what he was in Oklahoma City. I don't think many people remember Chris Paul's stint in Oklahoma City, where he was just with a lot of young guys, and he got that team in the postseason damn near by himself. He's going to be able to run an entire unit by himself, the Warriors' second unit with young guys like Kuminga and Thru. I think he's going to win 6th Man of the Year like Alex thinks. I think he's going to fit right in here with the Warriors. We're going to see him in their late games as well. And I think having not only one, but 2 of the greatest point guards of my generation together on the same team is going to get ugly. Watch out for the Warriors, man. I think many people are writing this team off. This team has run basketball really this last few seasons. I know they fell short last year, but I would not be writing them off in any capacity.
That's right. Don't forget the trading deadline. You can actually get a piece or 2 to help you get over the hump. So that's something also to keep an eye on. So that's why it's so important for the Warriors to get off to that good start. You get off to that good start, you got that shiny car, then you may be looking for that extra player to get you over the top. That's why I think it's important here, especially now. I think in what will be a Western Conference where it's going to be tough to get to 50 wins because everyone's going to be beating up on each other. If you can stand out, you can greatly help your team.
Yep. I'm right there with you, Tony.
And
I'm glad the NBA's back, and it's going to be a hell of a season.
No Ayton, of course, the changes there in Phoenix with Durant, with Booker, Beal. We'll see how Beal handles it. They didn't play much defense in Washington. How do you see this one shaping up here with the Suns side?
It's going to be interesting to see how this team comes together. Frank Vogel, new head coach. I like Nurkic being the centerpiece rather than Ayton. I think he offers more overall than Ayton does. Ayton is definitely the better offensive player, but I think Nurkic fits the Suns better for what they're trying to do. I just think it's going to take time to see these guys gel, and health is going to be the main key as well. We're game 1, Tony T. We already got Booker that was questionable earlier, Bradley Beal not playing. We know Kevin Durant doesn't stay healthy for a full season. So can they be healthy at the right time of year at the end of the year is going to be the million-dollar question. But I think talent-wise, they have 3 top 20 guys in the NBA, and they definitely can make some noise when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how Phoenix gets together here. Nurkic, he was, remember with days at Portland, of course, he was on the injury report a lot. Maybe a little too much for my liking, but But when he was in, he definitely defended the rim very well. Teams had a hard time getting shots off around the basket with Nurkic in there. So we'll see how he performs here with the Suns. It should be an interesting one. Don't sleep on everyone's getting caught up with that Lakers Nuggets game. It's weird having those two West Coast. What is it saying about the East? We got two West Coast teams starting the season. The bias
Yeah,
here.
I know. We're on the West Coast tonight, but we got a full card tomorrow, and I'll be covering with the jam session. I'm going to get started on that here in a few seconds.
That's right. NBA Jam says you want to check it out. Big card tomorrow and Wednesday. You can expect those Wednesday Fridays to be loaded up with games. You're a little light on the Tuesday, Thursday, kind of rotating there with the hockey. All right, so we got the play from Jay here on the show. Pistons tomorrow, +9 against the Heat, and a little bit of added conversation with Suns and Warriors. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, we do have on the board tonight NBA. We've got college football, a lot on the ice, the baseball game. We're going to find out who Texas is going to host on Friday. Great results in NFL. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, it's a good day. We got action everywhere tonight, and so do I. I have 3 plays tonight over at Pick Dogs Premium. I have my $19 Major League Baseball postseason play of the day. 10-5 on that play since the postseason started. Number 2 last 30 days, right behind Ron Romanelli himself in Major League Baseball. So we're trying to keep that rolling. You can scoop up my play in that game, $19. I have a play tonight in the NBA, of course. You can scoop that up as well. Try to start the year off with a bang. And then first one of the year, Tony, you know, I dipple and dabble on the ice sometimes. I got my first play this year on the ice, my NHL Money on Ice play. So 3 plays for me tonight. I got them all in the 3-pack. You can hop on it over at Pick Dogs Premium.
Get on board with Jay Briggs over at Pick Dogs Premium. Lots of action from Jay's on the ice tonight. So get on board off a winning day yesterday. NBA Play of the Day, of course, the way you guys like to do it. Get that 7-day pass. Perfect way to do it here on a Tuesday. Get all of Jay's premium plays for 7 days. That covers the entire NFL Week 8, Thursday, Sunday, Monday for you. Also the NBA, some on the ice. The Baseball World Series begins on Friday. Lots of action right now. Get on board. Pick it's a promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Jay. As always, great having the show. See that success. We'll catch up with you again on Thursday. But of course, let everybody know about that NBA Jam session ready to roll.
Yes, sir. So we posted the first one of the year today. We covered both games, and we'll be back. It's going to be posted tonight, sometime tonight. It's a huge card, so it's going to take me a little minute to do it. But it'll be up on the channel later tonight. You guys can check that out. And the afternoon jam session, the live one, is back as well. Different format. We're talking NFL and NBA this year on the show, but still a ton of great information. I had Kosty, Rod, and David Racing on today, so check that out. I should have plenty more guys coming through. I got to get Tony T on there soon, as well.
That's right.
But yeah, so afternoon show, morning show, weekend show, and jam session. So a lot of action for me right now. NBA is back. I cannot wait. And of course, don't forget about the NFL jam session. I still dropped that. Really good week for us last week. Let's keep it rolling in the NFL, heading into NFL Week 8.
That's right, guys. Got on board with Jay Briggs. And, of course, make sure to like, subscribe, set notifications so when Jay's shows drop, you get them live in real time, get the best numbers. All right, Jay, have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you on Thursday.
Yes, sir, Tony T. I will see you on Thursday.
Jay Briggs here on The Drive, dude. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, we're going to get some action on the ice from Rod Zawacky. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now. Rod, ready to go. Rod, what's happening? You're on mute there, Rod.
Getting ready for the hockey tonight. We already got some action going up. 1-0 Leafs at the end of the first period. Some early start today because we got everybody's playing today.
Yep.
Nobody gets a pass today in hockey. Everybody's on the ice skating tonight. So.
Yep, all teams in action tonight. Some of these scattered start times, so keep an eye there. Of course, a lot of these games over on the ESPN Plus out here. But tonight we're going here with the Oilers. Oilers, nice to feel a little better feeling now with these Oilers. They're on the road here, face the Wild. We see the Oilers favored the Wild favored minus 107, total 6.5.
Yeah, you look at this one, and the Wild are favorite. And why are the Wild favorite? Maybe a little overreaction to the Oilers not having Connor McDavid in the lineup for tonight's game with his injury. Looking like he'll be out for a couple weeks. Probably won't be back till early November sometime for McDavid in that one. But you look at this Wild team, and what's so good about this Wild team? Yeah, they got a couple wins in the season. They beat Montreal. Ooh, congratulations. Their defense, not very good. Oilers defense, not very good. I kind of like the over 6.5, but the better play, you know what? I'm going to take the Oilers tonight. Everybody's jumping on the Wild, thinking that hey, just because McDavid's not in there, the Oilers have no chance at this whatsoever. Did you forget Leon Draisaitl? He's still on the team, still a 100-point scorer. Zach Hyman's still on there. Nugent Hopkins still there. We still got some defensemen. Campbell's getting the start for the Oilers tonight. And look, he bounced back off of his rough start last time. Got a nice win versus Nashville. I think he gets a good solid start. You look at the Wild. Who are they starting? They're starting Philip Gustafson in net. Buster Gus getting the start in his 3 games. He's 1-1 this season, but he's scoring a 3.93 goals against and a 9.06 save percentage. He's going to give up a few. I think both goalies give up a few. We get a high-scoring shootout. But the Oilers sneak away with a win because everybody's counting out the Oilers in this one. And you know what? Without McDavid in there, I think everybody steps up, next man up, and the Oilers come a little more focused. They know they are off to a rough start. A little more focused in this one. Oilers is a dog. You're not going to see a whole lot this season. So I'm going to take the Oilers here in this one to get a win.
All right, Ross says go ahead and take the Oilers in this one here against the Wild in this spot. It's McDavid's one of the bigger names out in this one. Minnesota, that team here that, out in the West, of course, it's early here in the season here, Rod. And already we're starting to see some teams really on the struggle here. We saw with Edmonton getting off the schneid 1-4. Of course, Minnesota here 2-3 on the season. But this is a team, if I recall, have been pretty good defensively, but they're giving up over 4 goals a game.
Yeah, exactly. That's what this Wild team. Remember last season? I remember last season, the start of last season. This Wild team started off as the worst team defensively, and they look like they're going right on the same track to do that. So. Overs were the thing with the Wild. They were defensively. It took them a couple months. So we made a pile on betting against the Wild early. Defensively, they turned it around. But you look at the start of the season this year, not so good defensively for the Wild. 30th in the NHL, giving up 4.2 goals. Oilers are right behind that, 28th, giving up 4 goals a game. That power play, it's 5th in the NHL. Not as good as what it kicked off to, but it's still... it can lead to goals. You give the Oilers a power play, they can still score on it. The Wild, without Brody, big addition, lost there in their scoring with Boldy being out, but he's going to be out till mid-November. And you know what? It hasn't made a difference in these totals going over 4-1 on the Wild to the over, but it means their defense is just as good. I think this is a Wild one here we got. And the Oilers still the win. I think they just have a few more better guys. You got to remember how many Oilers scored over 20 goals last season. A lot. McDavid's just one piece of the puzzle. Oilers still have a lot of guys who can step up and win this game. The Wild short offensively in this game, but for some reason we'll still see plenty of goals.
Yeah, Ron says plenty of goals here in this one tonight here as we've got the Oilers and Wild here. As we know, the Wild having some issues here, no doubt about that. Let's get to some of these late ones here. This is one that's on ESPN. This is Flyers going into Golden Knights here, late night bailout game. We got 11 p.m. Eastern bailout here, Rod. Golden Knights big favorites, minus 174. We see the total coming in about 6.
6, right? And you look, who's going to get the start? It's going to be Thompson getting the start for the Knights. They're finally giving Aiden Hill a little bit of a rest after all the starts that he had this season. So is that going to be a difference? Maybe, but I think Logan Thompson wants his job back that Aiden Hill stole from him. So I think Aiden Hill comes up and Thompson comes up, Logan Thompson, and has a good start for the Knights. He wants his job back. He got injured, and Hill came over and is just taking over. And we're like, nope, my crease, and that's what happens with goalies. You get a hot goalie. So Logan Thompson getting his chance here to shine. And you know what? You want to hear a crazy trend? I believe it's like 26 straight. The Sharks play tonight, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. We're taking the Golden Knights. I believe it's like 26 straight to the puck line for these Golden Knights on the same night that the Sharks play. Why? I have no idea. It hit like 22 straight last season, and it's one of those crazy trends that continue here. 4 straight on the same night that the Knights play, the Sharks play, they hit the puck line. Why is that? I have no idea. It's like eating chicken on Tuesday. But either way, it's been making us money. Take the Golden Knights.
Take the Golden Knights when everyone's playing tonight. You know, everyone's playing tonight. Sharks are playing tonight. We got the Sharks and Panthers playing tonight. They're big dogs here. The Sharks, but some of these West teams are really struggles here. 223 big dog.
Yeah, look, the Sharks trying to struggle to score offense. I believe on the jam session this afternoon, somebody asked me that about this total in this game with the goalies that are starting. They figure they're going to take it over. You know what? I'm going to take it under. I like this under here. Sharks offensively, 1.2 goals a game, struggling to get goals, and so even with the I believe Saros is getting the start for the Panthers here, backup guy. Even with him in net, I still think this is a lower scoring one. I think the under. That's plus price on that one too.
Yeah, not so bad at all there in that price as we were looking at some of the games here coming up here tonight. Remember, they're staggering these starts. You notice 15 minutes apart here on all these games tonight, except when we get to the night games. Ducks and Blue Jackets. Now, the Ducks, how do you see their fortunes? Big dog here against Blue Jackets.
I think they're in trouble in this one. Give me 1 second, I'll tell you the goalie that's in. The goalie that's in there for the Ducks tonight is a guy that you want to fade. I believe I'm going to butcher his name. It starts with a D, and he's not good. He's sporting an over almost 4 goals against average. He's awful, and he is confirmed to get the start here tonight for the Ducks. Everybody's betting the Ducks. Why? Because they're a dog? No, take the Blue Jackets. They have the more offense, better team. And you know what? Ms. Lurkins is confirmed to get the start in this one. I like the Blue Jackets to get the win. Just a better team in this one.
Yeah, right. Says the better team there. So look at that Blue Jacket squad here. And of course, I can't let you go before we talk about these Kings. Can they get a win at home? They've been horrible at home.
Well, they still haven't confirmed a goalie. As I said, if it's Talbot, I'm going to stay far away from Cam Talbot being in goal because he's sporting up 4 goals against average. This Kings offense has been lighting the lamp like crazy. But if you look at this price with the Coyotes, and I believe they fare well coming into LA and beating the Kings. I'm going to take a shot here with the Coyotes at the plus price.
Wow, look at the Coyotes plus.
In the video, I like the Coyotes. Yeah. I got to go with it. The Kings defense has been shaky. I know they've been trying to outscore teams and winning games that way. That's not.
It hasn't changed.
Hasn't changed.
Hasn't changed.
No, hasn't changed.
For the full years that Suter was there, other than that, it hasn't changed. Same old Kings. They try to outscore you and play horrible defense, you know.
And play horrible defense, yeah. That's exactly what it's looked like they're starting the season. I believe they're number 1 in the NHL in offensive scoring, so that way's been good. But defensively, I believe 31st in the NHL.
Oh, yeah. It's like back in the Triple Crown days. It was back in the Triple Crown days. It hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed.
Okay, how about these Canucks? Are we going to break up the Canucks here? Canucks a dog here against Predators.
And you look at this one, I like the over I gave in the video, and I do lean to the Canucks, but I bet you it takes overtime. You look at the last 3 meetings between these two teams, took a shootout all last 3 meetings, so I take this game to go to overtime. And it takes a shootout again. A little price on that. I think I got it at plus 290 to this team to get tied at the end of regulation, and I lean to the Canucks to get the win, but I like the over as well.
There you go. So those guys, we got a lot of hockey covered here with Rod Zawacky, of course, on the show. He's on record here with Oilers to get it done against the Wild. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dodgman for nice action. Lots of hockey on the board, 16 games. Actually, we've trimmed it down to about 15 now. Make it 14 as we get into the 7 Eastern game as we get Ottawa and Buffalo has dropped the puck. All right, we got NBA on the board as well as college football. You see Rod's combined mark here in NFL. College football has been outstanding. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
And over at Pick Dogs Premium, I've got 4 plays. A couple went off already, so I've reconstituted the package for you. I got a mixed sport triple. That includes my 10-star play of the day in tonight's NBA action. So you look at the college football play. I've got an NHL play in there for you, and tonight's NBA. So head on over, scoop that up. Or as you can see, NFL and college football combined. Great start to the season. Head on over, grab the mid-season pass, $5.99. Use that promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll get everything I got going the rest of the NFL season and college football season, bowls included. That's a great deal going. Just have to use that promo code PICK. You get 15% off that. That'll work out to be, what is that, just under $500 for another 2.5 months of football left. Jump aboard.
Jump on board indeed. Right, guys, get aboard with Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dogs Premium. Look at the great results from Rod here in football. That is, as we said, that is combined results there in NFL and college football. Of course, Rod has his packages up for you right now, so go ahead and get signed up. Use the promo code pick to save that money. All right, Rod, as always, great having you on the show. See what I was going to try and see what we got. Looks like we got a goal scorer here in Buffalo and Ottawa, so we got a lot of action right now in the ice. All right, make sure you catch Rod's video series. Rod, NHL, you've got up there every night.
Every night there's a hockey game usually going. It's tough that there's not a game going. We got one game tomorrow, so a little lighter schedule than tonight, but always like, subscribe. That way you get notified when those hockey videos drop and you get the best of the number with us. Definitely appreciate everybody that tunes in. And, yeah, I don't mind chatting with you. If you got questions, ask them in the comments of those hockey videos, and I'll definitely try to do my best to answer everybody.
We got 1-0 Maple Leafs. Here's the live odds right now. Maple Leafs minus 325. Take back on the Capitals plus 263. Total 5.5.
Yeah, and I would take the Leafs on the puck line on that one. I know the Leafs aren't the greatest on the puck line, but the Capitals definitely off to a rough start this season, and they haven't fared so well. Have these Capitals. Tough spot. They got to play again tomorrow night as well, this Capitals team. This is the first leg of a back-to-back for them playing tomorrow night. They have to go play the Devils right after this game. So from Washington to New Jersey, they're playing another game tomorrow night is this Capitals team. So tough spot for them here. I think the Leafs do them in.
That's that way. All right, Rod. Have yourself a great night, and we'll catch up with you again here on the show for tomorrow.
You as well, Tony. Good luck with your bets, and we'll catch everybody tomorrow on the drive-thru.
Got it. Rod Zawacky here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you miss a pick, we always recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. We'll get to my pick, and then we'll get to the recap here. We're looking at New Mexico State and Louisiana Tech game in this one, and we're going to go over the total here. Oh, here we go. Over the total here with this. Hang on 1 second. Let me pull that. Over the total here with La Tech, New Mexico State. We know this New Mexico State team can run the football, and one thing that that Louisiana Tech struggles with is they really struggle at stopping the run this year. And I just think this would turn into a higher scoring game with New Mexico State, with Pavia under center, been very efficient passing team. And we know Louisiana Tech really poor defending the run, giving up 5 yards a carry. So I'm going to be looking here at this one, going over the total in this one, as it kind of sets up for New Mexico State to run and get big plays in the passing game. Of course, Louisiana Tech probably falling from behind, having to throw the football. We're looking here at an over. At least that's what my modeling says. I use this one on model games and put in my parameters, and this one really showed over hitting at a high rate here. So we like the over 55.5. Actually 55 now in some places. Let me check the market here to see who has 55. But unfortunately, this game has begun. I thought it was 7:30 Eastern time, but anyway, here we go. But anyway, guys, check it out over at Pick Dogs Premium. Right now, actually, no goal in that Ottawa and Buffalo game, by the way. It's still scoreless. They have ruled it no score. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs Premium tonight. I got a best bet up there right now in college football. You can also get on board with my long-term pass, my 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period you select. When you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Let's get to the recap. All right, we start with Alex. Alex liked Chris Paul 6-man award plus 1,600 units. Also like the Celtics to win the NBA title. Safir says Nuggets laying the 5 against Lakers. That one's moving. That one I think is 4.5 now. There's some late money coming here on Lakers, and I believe we show here 4.5. So yeah, 4.5 pretty much everywhere now. Damian like Liberty laying the 4.5 against Western Kentucky. Tony Brown Red Wings puck line lay the puck in at half plus 195 against the Kraken. We had Jay on the Pistons tomorrow plus 9 against Heat. Oilers says Rod. I'll say New Mexico State La Tech over 55. And the one I like the most here, let's see, which one do I like the most? Let's go with that. Let's see. We'll go with Jay's pick on the Pistons tomorrow plus 9. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers from Pick Dogs and Sports Champagnes. They'll go after a place for you here in real time. And, of course, remember, it always gets started with that morning show during the week, 10:30 a.m. each time. You got Chris and Jay right now. It's Mitch recovers. Also, too, Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tools Show. Jay's Jam Session, NFL, NBA. Make sure you catch that in. Jay's Rundown, NBA tomorrow. We'll be up later tonight, I should say. Also, we've got the wraparound here from Chris Ruffalo, NHL. Of course, NHL video series from Rod Zawacky. And you can't forget public betting here from Dana, as well as All Access with Big Al McMorty. Make sure to give Kosty a call or a text. If you're one of those dime players, get a hold of Kosty, get the plays early, and get them at a better number. Beat those closing lines gives you the best chance to win. All right, that's going to do it here for the show. Let's bring